Hope you're doing well. Mm. So, today I would like to chat to you about my most latest module of my hypnotherapy diploma. So, module 6 is about thought field therapy. And it was all around helping people overcome fears and phobias. So there's two distinctions there, as you can have a fear of something, but it not be really affecting your life, like debilitating. Yes, debilitating. So, you know, for example, agoraphobia is stopping you from getting outside of the house, whereas a fear may just bring up some nervous emotion. You can get through it. It's still something you'd like to get rid of, but it doesn't have complete control over you. Interestingly, though, they are connected in that sense that they can lead to another. So if you have a fear, say for example, you notice you feel quite nervous about going outside, this could develop into a phobia if you just let it continue, or worse, you even encourage this behavior. So you may find yourself putting off the idea of going outside until you realize it's become several days since you went outside. So that's how it develops into a phobia. And yeah, I'm just looking at all of my notes here. We have a e-manual to take all of our notes ready to submit in July for all to be marked and assessed. And it's just to show really that we're doing our research. There's the fast phobia cure, also known as the rewind technique. And with all of these, it's all about always making space for the client to speak, to open up, to feel comfortable, and to really get all of that detail. And then from there, you can look at removing the impact of that situation. So, oh, hello, hi. Oh my gosh, there's someone on here. How amazing. Hello, Besnik Doggy. Where am I from? So I'm based in the UK. I'm in Norfolk in the UK, so I'm quite close to the seaside on the east of the UK, just above London. Oh my goodness. How interesting. This is like my 4th live. So the comments do work. I know where, yeah, you know where that is? Oh, cool. Yeah, sometimes people don't really know where Norfolk is, so I always use London as an example. Cool. Okay, so what was I talking? Oh, my hypnotherapy. You're from West Yorkshire. Oh, amazing. Oh, my nan is from Yorkshire. Oh, lovely. I want to go back up to Yorkshire at some point. I've only been as a very little child, so I don't really remember, but I know it's beautiful up there. I mean, it's quite like Norfolk, isn't it, of all the countryside? So that's why I moved out of London. Oh, I craved the quieter life and like the village life of all of the lovely nature. Leeds? Leeds? Isn't that the other side? You see, you can tell my geography isn't that great. I know, isn't it near Manchester? Is that bad to say? Let's check. Leeds. Oh no, it is next to Manchester. Sheffield. Oh yeah, Sheffield. Oh, cool. Oh, Whitby. That's where my nan is from. Whitby, by the seaside. Yes, it's definitely on my sort of like bucket list really to explore all of the UK again and do some traveling. When I first started traveling, I just immediately explored Europe and America, North America, and was always like going to islands for holidays, and now I'm like, no, let's explore England again, especially Norfolk. Norfolk is beautiful, so I'm trying to explore that more. So yes, hypnotherapy. I suppose with these lives, they can be quite spontaneous, can't they? You can just chat, just have a nice conversation. But the hypnotherapy I was talking about, with if you have a fear of or a phobia, there's this great technique called the rewind technique. And what it does is that I would take you through a hypnosis where you imagine yourself in a cinema, in your cinema, basically playing your story. And it's all around whatever your fear or phobia is. And you're rewinding it back to when it began, and then even further to when you didn't have this fear in your life. And then what you can do is imagine that and think, oh, the sun's come out in England. That's nice. Yeah, and it's all about thinking about envisioning yourself. A lot of therapy, hypnotherapy, hypnosis is very visual. It's very based on seeing yourself as the person you'd like to be. And then you can really focus on that. So what I find where a lot of people go wrong is that they focus on the negatives. So for example, I don't want to be this way, or I don't want to be smoking, or I don't want to be unhealthy. But the problem is the way the mind works is it doesn't really hear the not part, just the fact that you're talking about something. And when you mention it, even if you're saying don't, you're thinking about it. So you're actually more strengthening that. So if you're thinking about that bad habit, even if it's in a negative sense, you're thinking about it. So then you're giving it more energy and attention. So what you want to do instead is flip it. So think about what you want to be doing instead. I always use my classic great example of my skin picking. I was struggling with this for years. I'd say, I don't want to pick at my skin. I don't want to ruin my skin. I don't want it to be so blah, blah, blah. So you just make yourself feel really down because you're focusing on it, but you're not giving yourself a solution. So studying hypnotherapy, I discovered these techniques. And I mean, I'm doing so much better now because instead of thinking about, oh, I don't want to be doing this, I think about what to do instead. So, I have my crystals and things that I kind of just play with to keep my hands busy. So, yes, with things like habits, you have to do the inner work first. So the therapy of what's even causing this. And I did do a lot of childhood, inner child work. Sometimes I pick from stress and worry, or I feel bad about myself. But sometimes it's also just boredom and it's unconscious. That's the great thing about hypnotherapy. It gets to the unconscious part of you. It speaks to the unconscious part and reprograms it. Because how are you supposed to stop something when you don't even realize when you're doing it? So just keeping my fingers busy. I'll play with my crystals. I know a lot of people have fidget spinners. But I just have loads of cute little knickknacks that I can keep in my hands. But also, I wanted to stress less. I wanted to be more relaxed. And something that achieves both of those things is face masks. So clay or just a sheet. It took time out of my day to do a meditation and relax in that sense. But it also, looked after my skin and it made me feel good. So can you see that the difference where I was focusing on how to move forward and giving myself something to do? So the thing with habits is, especially if you've been doing it a long time, that your brain has allocated space to be doing this thing. So you can't just say, I'm not going to do this anymore, because then there's this big gap. And naturally, if you don't try to fill it, your brain will unconsciously try to do it for you. Naturally, the best thing to fill it with is whatever the habit was before. So that's why you have to actively say, okay, I'm going to do this instead. So that's called habit swapping. Literally, you swap one habit for another. So that was my little derail. I only wanted to come on here for a few 10 minutes anyway, um, and say hello. Yeah, fears and phobias. I'm noticing the more I train on hypnotherapy, then the more I talk about this naturally, that I always seem to come back to the habit swapping, the habit stacking, the habit stopping. So I think maybe that's my specialty, my niche. I really resonate with it. I think, building it up, habit stacking of things that you want to do can really help you. They can really help you thrive because, like with my skin picking, the healthier my skin becomes, the happier I feel, the more beautiful I feel. And then feel more confident and comfortable. And with confidence, that means I can then go out and achieve things that I want to do. And then when I achieve those things, that means I've got more motivation and more confidence, and it's just like this really amazing positive snowball effect where it just builds and builds. So that's why I'm really passionate about it. So if you're interested, I'm running a Kickstarter right now. It ends April 4th with exclusive limited offers. So please do, grab it now. And yeah, get in touch. There we go. Yeah, I'd love to get to know you. I'd love to hear more about you and help you. You've got this. Take care.